Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yaritza if you're new here, and today I have a special guest. His name is Drew and this is my husband, and today's topic that we are going to be talking about is marriage. So I wanted to do this topic because it's February, so love is in the air, and I found out that there's this thing called National Marriage Week, and I just thought it'd be a fun topic to tackle and talk about. We have been married for 2 years. We got married November 4th of 2018. We're not experts on marriage by any means.
One bit.
But obviously we have 2 years under our belt.
Together for 6. 2 years under our belt.
So I think yesterday I posted out, like, I'm gonna do this video. If you guys have any questions about marriage, I want to talk about like everything, like the good, the bad, the ugly, frequently asked questions, like any marriage advice, or you know, your opinions on whether you're against marriage or whatever. I got one question. Someone else said, oh, I don't have any questions, but I'll watch the video because I will love to find my life partner one day. I decided to still make the video, and hopefully, I figured maybe people are shy and they don't want to ask questions, but they'll be interested in the topic anyway. So I'm doing this video, and if you guys like it, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. So I'm going to start the video with that one question that I got on Instagram because I think that's only fair. So the one question that I got, and I have not shared it with him, but I think it's a juicy one, is how do you deal with temptations if that comes up as a married couple? In general, I feel like we're not blind, so obviously we can recognize that there are other good-looking people out in the world. Like, I see other men that I'm like, oh, he's a good-looking guy, but I'm never tempted to anything because I'm very in love with my husband. I still think that he is the sexiest man in the world, and I'm never tempted, but that doesn't mean that I don't recognize that there are other beautiful people out there in the world, men and women.
Very true. I love my wife. I'm a very loyal man. There's always going to be temptation in the world, but you have to understand the commitment that you made with somebody, and that's more important than the temptation itself. So just like my wife says, it's like I'm married, but I'm not blind, but I'm not going to act on that. So temptation's everywhere, but the fact that you are very connected with your partner and your commitment and your understanding for the rest of your lives, temptation's nothing to you. You're just like...
That was the one question that I got on Instagram. So continuing on, I actually just Googled like frequently asked questions about marriage, thoughts about marriage and stuff like that. So I thought that maybe we could discuss it. Obviously we believe in marriage because we got married, but I know that there's people out there that do not believe in marriage, and that's okay. I think to each his own, as long as you and your partner are on the same page. I think that that's all that matters. So I just want to talk and maybe clear up like the difference between marriage and wedding. So the thing why it's on there is because a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on the wedding day and don't think about how to get married, how to have a successful marriage, because you can have a successful wedding and still fail at your marriage because you weren't thinking about what it actually takes to be together with your partner. One of the main reasons for divorces is finances, and if you get into debt with your wedding, of course it's going to affect your marriage. We did not get into debt with our marriage, and I am so grateful for that.
We walked out clean, no debt whatsoever.
Yeah. One of the questions people ask is, what's the best time or like age, I think it's what they're talking about, to get married?
When you feel it's right. There's no expiration date, to be honest. I mean, there's society that tells you what age you should be, but if you haven't found somebody you love, then...
I think that there is the pressure of like, you know, the planning of like school, college, marriage, kids, career, whatever. But honestly, like, if you feel you're ready to get married at 21, I mean, to me that's super early. I can't imagine me getting married at 21. But if I would have met him at 21, where would I have gotten? I don't know, you know? So every person it's an individual story, has their own story, their own journey. I was 33 when I got married, and I was 29 when we met. So there is no timeline.
Listen, what I've learned is that time tells all. Time enough that when you know it's ready, like our discussion of saying when it's time to be married, you just know you're ready to be married.
Yeah, I just
I was
knew.
ready to be married. We were ready to be married.
Yeah. I was ready to be married before, but
After
That
second
brings-
date, she's like, I need that ring.
he's like, he's the one. The second topic is marriage or cohabitation. So we actually moved in together a year after we started dating. A year after our first date, literally.
Yeah.
We started dating in November 2014. By November 2015, we had moved in together, and it was just the right decision for us. I, growing up, never thought that I would actually live with someone without being married, but obviously as I got older and my journey changed and I met him, it was just like what was right for us.
I know a lot of people tend to do this thing where it's like, let's test the waters if we're meant to be, let's move in together, or let's share a space. And the goal isn't to share a space and see. The goal is to share a space and work it out and progress together as a couple, which what we did. I mean, let me tell you, at the beginning, when we first moved in together into a new space, we had a lot of fights.
What I learned through this journey is that when people say your first year of marriage is the hardest, what they mean is combining your life that first year is going to be hard. Because our first year of marriage was not hard because we had already, 3 years of cohabitation. So when we moved in together, that first year was our hardest year in our relationship. Yeah. But when we did decide to move in together, we were making a commitment. We weren't just like, oh, let's test out the waters. I already knew that we were going to eventually, even though he hadn't proposed, I knew that we were eventually going to get married. And obviously we did. And it could have not worked out, obviously, but we were just meant to be, so it did. But what I was going to say is that bringing two lives together is the hard part, because you're two different people with two different sets of upbringings and beliefs and habits and all that stuff. So you're really, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve of like how someone acts within their home. That's when you start learning each other's quirks, what you need from the other person. Not what you expect. You need to communicate what you need from the other person in order for this to work. Okay, so moving on to the next thing that I found on the internet. It says your spouse is not going to complete you. So I know we like to use the term like he's my other half, he completes me. It's not literal. Like no one can complete you.
No.
If you're unhappy with who you are, your career, anything like that, with your body, how you feel about yourself, it's going to affect the relationship whether you like it or not, because he can't give you self-love. You have to give yourself that love that you need in order to bring that into the relationship.
And we've discussed that too. We're in this marriage to experience life with each other married. If we weren't together, she would still find fulfillment and happiness within herself, as would I.
I want to read this quote that's from that. So from the article that I got this from. It says, it's really important for you to focus on you. It's not in a selfish way, not in a way that disregards your partner, but in a way where you understand taking care of yourself is going to help you bring your best self to your relationship. And that's basically point blank period. You can't pour from an empty cup, people. I come first, no matter what.
As do I.
The next one that I have here, it's a good one. It says, you won't always feel in love. So I feel like there are moments where I'm like, not that I don't love you. We always say that. He was like, oh, do you still love me? I'm like, of course, I will always love you, but I don't like you right now. And I don't want you in my presence.
I don't ever feel like it's neglect. I don't ever feel like she's pushing me away, or I feel like uncertain that she doesn't love me. It's just kind of like, you go through seasons, man.
Yeah. Know your partner's finances. So I think this is a really important one, because we actually talked about this before we got married. When we decided to move in together, we had the finance talk. We showed each other's bank accounts. We talked about our debt, and we talked about our future, and we opened a bank account together so that we could pay for our rent and like the food shopping and all that stuff. So we've always had, since the moment we moved in together, we opened that mutual bank account where we deposit a certain amount of money in there every month to cover like our mutual expenses.
She keeps her money, you keep your money, and you spend it however you want, to where they're both not joined together, and then there's problems with who's spending the amount.
This one says, when the going gets tough, don't call it quits right away. Many young married couples get divorced very soon, like less than 5 years into their marriages. So I don't know, we have to see in 3 more years.
I'm not worried. We've been together for 6 years. The only thing that changed is that we signed a piece of paper and made a commitment to one
exactly. So basically what it says here, and I know that I've heard it from other people, it's like, it's too much work. I want something that's easy. And for me, like, nothing in life is easy. Like, even the relationship that you have with yourself is complicated and muddy, and like, you need to figure all that within yourself. So why would you think that a marriage or a relationship would just be easy? And this is not easy. I know we make it look easy, you know, on Instagram and all that stuff. It's our highlight reel. I think a lot of the times we make it look easy because we're just posting the good stuff, the lovey-dovey. And we are. I mean, of course, we're not going to like air our dirty laundry out there, but I'm telling you now that we do have fights. Okay, and the last one that I have here is express love, which I feel is kind of like learning each other's love languages, or how do you express love? You need to make sure that the other person feels love.
Yes, make sure the other person...
Why are you laughing? Why?
Feels love. Make sure when that person wakes up in the morning, you shower them with kisses and let them know how much you love them. Ain't that right, baby? Yes, that's right.
Okay, so this is the thing about us is that he likes a lot of snuggles and kisses
I'm
early in the morning.
Snuggle bear, yo.
And I'm just like, I wake up, I want to be out of bed. I know for me, the way that I like to express love is by acts of service, but that's not his love language. He needs words of affirmation, and what's the other one? Physical touch, like physical touch and words of affirmation. But that is it. So I hope you guys got some good out of this video. Please leave your comments below, leave your questions if you guys want us to do another video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to my channel for more so you can support my YouTube journey, and I would appreciate it forever. I love you guys so much. Stay safe, and I will see you in another video.